Okay, Nicky, so how have preparations gone for this year's Cheltenham Festival?
Well, I think there's never that smooth a passage, but it's been good, really. You're always going to have a hiccup here and an issue there, but on the whole, no, I've been very pleased. I mean, I think they look well. We had that very cold snap. I don't think that helped us enormously. There was a bit of a blip after that, but no, since then they've been really good.
Have you got the work into most of the horses that you need to now, or is there still a bit of work to do on a few?
Well, I was just thinking, we were talking about it this morning, normally we would go and take them away. Next Tuesday has always been our sort of a fortnight before. If anything needs an away day, we normally do, and we might be taking sometimes up to a dozen, but I can only see 2 or 3 that I would want to do it with this year, because they have mostly had races during January, if you like, in which case they definitely don't need a race course or in any other sort of place that we might go to work horses away from home. So I think all in all we're in pretty good shape.
Have you got many to run now between now and
None.
the festival?
No, they're all done. Yeah. No.
Well, let's start off on the Tuesday then with obviously the main horse, Constitution Hill. Last seen at Christmas. How's he been?
Good. I mean, he had that one thing. He had a dirty scope, which a lot of horses have during a year. Unfortunately, it wasn't as if he was the only horse on the place that had that. You're going to have them. It's a bit like a school. If you've got something, a school is never working on 100% of its classroom every day, is it?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same here.
And Constitution Hill, what's he been doing over the last couple of days, and what will his build-up be now?
He's been doing exactly the same as he does every week of every year. He's a very sensible horse. He's got a very good attitude to it. You keep it simple, and it's as easy as ABC. Complicated, and it's not easy.
Are you nervous about the day?
No, I mean, not at the moment. We've got a job to do. We've got another 3 weeks of it to go, and it's a tough 3 weeks. As you say, what does he do? We know what we're going to do with him and where we're going to go and what's going to happen. Our job is just to make sure he gets there in one piece. And as I say, it's always a nervous time. A lot of things can go wrong. You've always got issues, and you just pray it's not one of your A team anyway. And we all know, every trainer will tell you that between now and then, you're going to read about all sorts of horses that fall out of the game between now and Cheltenham. There'll be dozens of them.
Yeah.
And you just got to hope they don't come your way. They will do. I mean, if I named 30 horses that I hope will get there now, I'll guarantee you all 30 won't get there. It's difficult.
Yeah, and obviously looking over at State Man and what he did at the Dublin Racing Festival, any concerns or?
Well, it was the Willie Mullins Racing Festival, yeah. I'm sure Willie was very pleased with him. Yeah, he was good. He is a very good horse, there's no doubt about it. He did what he had to do there. I thought he was good. Was he any better than last year? I don't know.
Do you think Constitution Hill was a better horse this year than he was last year?
I don't think so. I'd be very surprised if he was, wouldn't you? I mean, you can hardly be better than breaking track records by a ridiculous amount of time. Nobody could keep going faster and faster. I wouldn't have thought so. I mean, he's a year older, but I don't think he's necessarily any stronger. I don't know, but he probably is. When he came in out of the field, he was like an absolute bull of a horse. He had grown and he has thickened up. Whether it makes him any quicker, he looked very good at Christmas. Unfortunately, again, it's not his fault, not my fault, that the Fighting Fifth wasn't there, because that's where we went last year. And you know, the Champion Hurdle was his 3rd run. Unfortunately, as I say, he had a dirty scope and he couldn't run in the Unibet Hurdle, which would have been, that was an additional race, if you like. So it's not as if it's any different. He came into the Champion Hurdle last year straight from the Christmas Hurdle, so it's exactly the same as last year.
And are you likely to run anything else in the Champion Hurdle? I
would have thought almost certainly yes. It looks as if Lucia will probably run. I won't say this because I think she'll win. First Street's been running around all year chasing prize money. Yeah. which has been very lucrative. He's very pushed to win a handicap off his mark. Having said that, I think we will probably run him in a handicap come March rather than in the Champion Hurdle. But he's earned some very good prize money this season just by picking up the pieces in the Christmas Hurdle and the Unibet Hurdle. So he's in the Champion. I suspect he'd go Coral. I'd like to go further with him. Lucia, I know Paul Sandy is very, very keen to run. And look, his horse, he bred it, he owns it, and he's entitled to do whatever he likes. And you know, he'll have a great day out. And let's hope she can get placed. Look good on her CV pedigree, won't it?
John Bond, obviously champion chase, going up his old rival. How was he after last time, and what do you think about reversing the form?
I was really looking forward to the Clarence House at Ascot, and having he and Fabiolo having their own private little battle. That would have, you know, we were spot on for Ascot. He's a funny horse because it might not sound that there's a lot in it, but by putting that back a week, it got us on the wrong leg, if you like. He's the sort of horse that you can wind it up, but it's very, very easy to overwind. And holding him on, you know, the red button was ready to press, and dithering around with it doesn't help. You get jittery and probably press the button and go and sink the wrong ship. Yeah. It's that easy with him to get it wrong. And you know, it was just a pity. A week was a long time for him. And it went wrong at Cheltenham, yeah, fine, but we've got to get over that and get back here in good shape.
So Gino, obviously another odds-on shot for you. Looked really impressive last time out. Obviously bar Constitution Hill must be your best chance of the week.
Yeah, I mean visually he was very impressive. He's only had 3 runs in his life, 1 in France. You'd think if that is right, if Burnett Road has run to what he was doing prior to that, and he'd look very good, or if he's run to his flat rating of 106, would I be right, and somewhere around about that, you know, that's a pretty serious horse. So if he could do that, if he's probably running to equivalent of about 112 to 115 on the flat, he's an awful good horse if he can do that. Of course, that's a really wild sort of comparison, but that would tell you that it's very good. So I can't quite believe all that. So we've got to just hope that it certainly wasn't a flash in the pan. He's a very, very good horse, and he's shown us that. His jumping sharpened up a lot at Cheltenham. He schooled this morning actually, and he was very good. So I mean, everything's going the right way. I mean, we find out. And
then finally on the Friday, obviously Shiskin for the Gold Cup. Obviously there's pictures of you on there of long run. Obviously famous memories winning the race. Shiskin this year, what's the plan? Will the cheap pieces maybe come on him to focus in?
I doubt it. Yeah, I won't deny we haven't discussed it, thought about it, dreamt about it, probably decided no about it. I think if I was going to put them on, we would have done it at Newbury probably. And there were too many people telling me that's the why he didn't start at Ascot, which is total rubbish. That's nothing to do with it, but I suspect they would help him, but I don't know. You're hardly going to put them on the first time in the Gold Cup, so I suspect we won't.
And do you think you can get close to Galloping the Champs?
Well, they've never met, so we can try.
Yeah.
He's been very good. He's a worthy favourite, there's no doubt about that. He's top class horse, he's won a Gold Cup. He looked good in Ireland. But I think we've come through. I mean, you could say, surely, you know, you've got to say he's run a hell of a race in the King George, whether he'd have won or not. We happen to think he would have done, but then so does Shark Hanlon as well. So he did nothing wrong, and that was his first run of the year. And he came and did all he had to do at Newbury. I thought he was good, and you know, we go in there full of hope anyway. Certainly not confidence, no. I think it's a very good, but it's a very open race.